Hello, everybody. Welcome. Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, wherever you're listening in today with us. We have a very, very exciting fA+Ir global webinar today with two projects that have been prototyping through our Feminist AI Research Network. One project in the MENA region, dialing in today, Marwa Soudi from Egypt, and another project from the Latin American and Caribbean hub, Francisco Gallegos, dialing in from Ecuador, and the two really incredible projects that they have. We're going to be really talking to how they've been working on interdisciplinarity, because one of the real core reasons that we've been doing these prototypes is to see how do we work with the socio-technical, how do we put together this incredible technical expertise with the expertise of communities. And these two projects really highlight community work, but also work between disciplines, technical disciplines amongst themselves, as well as technical and social disciplines working together. So I'm really excited about what we're going to learn in here today in this webinar. I'm Caitlin Kraft-Buckman from Women at the Table and the A+ Alliance for Inclusive Algorithms. And as I said, we are going to be hearing first from Marwa Soudi and on her AI tutoring system, and then from Francisco Gallegos from Diversa Studios and the incredible community perspectives for natural resource governance, water governance with an indigenous people happening in Mexico. So first, I turn over to Marwa Soudi, who is the co-founder of IdeasGym, which has been working in EdTech for quite some time, and is a super accomplished colleague of ours who's a serial social entrepreneur or mompreneur, and is now also going for her PhD in digital transformation and lifelong learning at Tallinn University. So with a focus on responsible AI and how to build a responsible AI ecosystem for SMEs. So we're very honored that she's going to share her work and her team's work on this AI-based tutoring system for Upper Egypt. And Marwa, I'm going to turn it over to you. Thanks.
Thank you, Caitlin, for this beautiful introduction. I am not going to repeat what Caitlin already said about my background. So as you see, I'm originally an engineer, and I have a master's degree in communication engineering and another master's degree in educational technology. And finally, I'm finalizing my PhD work in Tallinn University around responsible AI and how to support SMEs to adopt responsible practices. Today, I'm presenting the project which I was lucky and honored to work with the A+ Alliance and Women at the Table and A2K4D from Egypt around for this project, which is generative AI-based tutoring system for Upper Egypt and community schools. I would like first to introduce the current team, and in the next slide you will understand why I'm saying the current team. So this is me, Marwa, the principal investigator of this project. I have also my colleague, engineer Yasser Tawfiq, and engineer Hassan Shihawi, and the professor Maria Boutros, who is also working with us in human-computer interaction. So first, I would like to give recognition to the first team who started this project with me. We applied first in the stage related to A+ Alliance funding and Feminist AI project. We applied for research to paper funding phase, and in that phase, which we started last year, I was there with my colleagues, Nihal. Nihal had experience in teaching at university and in neural networks. Also, my colleague, Dr. Isra Ali. Isra used to be in the academia, and she's working with focus on computer science. And Maha Bali, who was our consultant in that stage. Maha is a famous, she's basically an engineer. But however, her career experience is around educational technology and pedagogies and all what is related to technology. To education. Now we have the current team in that phase, in which we work to transform our research work to a prototype. It is worth mentioning that in the first phase, we have published our paper around our work, and it got nominated to Best Research Award in last December in Dublin in one of the ACM conferences related to human-computer interaction. Now I would like to give more introduction about the team I am currently proud to work with. So the main team, when it comes to the technical development of the project, I have engineer Yasser. Yasser has more than 15 years of experience in the STEM field, plus being an engineer, and he worked before as a manager for open innovation in Orange Telecommunication, and he had a lot of experience in developing learning management systems. He was responsible to develop the learning management system for IdeasGym. And also, we have engineer Hassan Shihawi. Just 1 second. I say. Oh, this is why I give the introduction always that I'm mompreneur. So I have Laila, so she was like cheering you. And we have engineer Hassan. Hassan worked in different projects related to research and in different institutes in Europe and in Egypt and with industrial firms. And his focus is in developing AI systems and AI models, either for robots or for industrial usage. And last but not least, we have Professor Marwa Boutros, who we have been working together for a while. She's my supervisor also. And Marwa has a lot of experience when it comes to human-computer interaction. She's a great expert and she's known. She's originally Finnish, and she is between Helsinki and Tallinn universities when it comes to her work. And she also gives consultation to different organizations when it comes to participatory design approaches and human-computer interaction. Now, the aim of our project, so you can understand the context, was to harness the power of generative AI to achieve a better learning experience. And we have been focusing on teaching mathematics for community schools in Egypt. A little bit more information regarding this. We have this series of community schools in Egypt. Community schools are not like the regular schools. It's like one classroom in which you can find the students gathered from both genders, girls and boys, and from not from a specific age group, but like from 10 to 15 years old students can be together. We chose the community schools because those students didn't have the privilege to be in the formal regular schooling system. They, due to their circumstances and the environment they were raised in, they missed the regular and the formal education system. Mainly those are coming from rural areas, disadvantaged groups, and they didn't have this social privilege of going to school, even for the public schools. The majority of those attending community schools are girls, and almost all the teachers are women. So this is why we wanted to support this community of learners and their teachers. So we visited one of the community schools last year during our research phase, and we tried with them different learning systems and to test how they are responding to those systems, what are their needs, and to understand the learning environment and to talk to their teachers and their needs. And we reached after that the system overview, which is on the other side of my slide, that what the teachers are expecting from this system is to create content in the form of text using AI, generate images using AI, generate video from a sequence of images using AI, generate questions using AI, and generate a comprehensive data analysis about the student performance using AI. The most important thing is all those things need to be done seamless and easy for teachers to use they need to be comfortable while using this system, be able to communicate with it in Arabic language, for example, and be able to understand them in an easy way, in an easy way with this system. It could help them to generate the content that they are aiming for. Basically, those teachers don't have time and they don't have those capabilities to go, for example, for using this mesh of educational technology tools over the internet to generate their own illustrations or visuals. They don't have the time for that. And when we try to work with YouTube or videos available on the internet in the Arabic language, it was a mess. Those were not pedagogically good. The YouTube was too open for the students. You can find videos which is totally unrelated to education. So we couldn't just leave the students to the videos. And when it came to the chat options, there is this problem that the chat might give irrelevant information or not accurate information. So the human oversight and the presence of teachers to validate the data given to the students was really important. So basically, we wanted to support the teachers with the visuals that they can create using AI, aid them with ideas and content that that can help them to form questions and help them to have this satisfactory content in which they can show to their students and both and mediate the learning process between both of them. So for the milestones, we have been working with Moodle. We set already a simple Moodle interface, and the system is now integrated with the AI assistant that can help the teacher to create the text and questions. Now, this is one of the main milestones that we are in. And we chose Moodle because Moodle is an open source system, but there is one of the concerns. Having Moodle as open source system doesn't mean that everything is for free, because when you go to Moodle and host it, we have to pay some money. So now the challenges that we faced in this current phase. We had challenges related to technical and pedagogical problems, and this is number one. When it came to DALL-E as an image generator, we have been playing with DALL-E to generate fractions, and we found some challenges that DALL-E couldn't understand. For example, if you ask DALL-E to generate a pizza, or you went to ChatGPT-4, if you asked it to give you an image of a pizza with the cut to 3 slices, the fractions part to divide something to 3 parts or 4 parts or 5 parts, this concept is not understood by the algorithms or the models. And the problem too is this the best way to teach math. Math needs images and visuals that can support numerical illustration. So you can't just show the students an image of a pizza to teach them the word pizza. You need to teach them something numerical. So you need this concept of dividing and having things divided and in the form of slices and so on. So, for example, this is one of the conversations that we had with DALL-E through ChatGPT-4, because ChatGPT-4 is connected with DALL-E. You can call DALL-E through ChatGPT-4. It responded when we asked the pizza to be cut into 3 slices. So that the system gave us, the model gave us this picture, and it said, here is the image of a pizza cut into 3 slices. So when we asked it, okay, I want the pizza to be cut into 3 slices only. So ChatGPT replied, this image is right one, and with 3 slices, you can see that there are different distinct pieces separated from each other. So though the picture is for 5 slices, the model or the chat confirmed that those are 3 slices, and those things make us really scary pedagogically, because it might the amount of confidence with the chat GPT when it is giving a wrong information is really scary, because you feel scared. We as adults can understand that this is wrong, but when it comes to a learner who is still starting his or her way in learning, this is going to be a real problem. And here we continue the conversation that you can see. So when the chat said it appears that there might be, I mean, I'm sort of misunderstanding with the image generated, and let's ensure I will attempt this again. And also it gave a wrong example. And I want to tell you that ChatGPT 4.0 that they just launched, it gave the same wrong answer. So I didn't include this picture on this presentation, but it's I have it on my mobile phone. It gave the same wrong action image, and it didn't give the 3 slices that we want to have. And here again and again. So it was like 15 minutes of like continuous chat, and with no hope that we can gain this answer that we are looking for. So Hassan gave it a deeper look, and we noted that the algorithms or the models beyond it doesn't understand the idea of the fractions. So you have to put like lines or distinct to put sort of layers to make it understand the fractions. And this is very complicated when it comes to teachers to write such a sort of a prompt for giving just one image with the slices or divisions. So we wanted to have another solution to work around this. So we thought about what about math plus visuals plus AI, what we could have, how we can create a sort of visuals which is could be pedagogically acceptable and help the students understand mathematics using AI. So we came up, yes, with emojis, and it worked much better than working with the DALL-E images. It is, you see that when it comes to emojis, the images are more like focused, less noisy, and so on. So you can see here the orange, you can see it slice it to half or quarter. There is this concept of slicing can be there, or pieces can be there. And the images are much better when it comes to the eyes from having it with this sort of noisy illustrations. So we searched and we digged a bit, and we found one of the papers that I recommend others who are interested to have a look at it. An emoji is worth 1,000 variables. And in this paper, Tony is explaining the importance of using emojis in teaching mathematics. And this paper is from 2017, because emojis are very popular to everyone. It gives this funny feeling, and it could be used with numerical explanations easily. So this paper is talking about how to teach algebra even using emojis. And you can simply write to ChatGPT, I need 3 slices of pizza, emoji pizzas, and it's going to show you 3 slices of pizzas. If you ask it to show you 2 oranges, it will do. And some GPTs can give you like 2 emojis with each other's, like 3 girls emojis we're holding 2 apples or something. So it can give even a more complicated image. And there is also another paper which is related to emojis and their place in the mathematics classroom. It was published in 2021, especially with COVID. And when teachers wanted to communicate with their students, for example, through chat or chatting or WhatsApp and so on. So they started to use emojis to send them mathematical problems using WhatsApp. And the students used to like figure out how to solve those questions. So this is briefly our current work. In this current stage, we are trying to develop our learning management system in Moodle to allow the students to interact with the AI text, and also the teachers can be able to generate illustrations using the emojis, either videos or images that they can integrate to their lesson plan. And use this with their students to help them understand more mathematical concepts. I have a very simple video that I can show you.
I think one of the things, but maybe we'll go through this. It's a Caitlin. Hi, and thank you so much for this. And I love the pizza, and I love the way that DALL-E was so certain that 5 slices is really 3, and the problems that might involve. I think a little bit later it might be good to go back. I'd love to hear what it was like to talk across disciplines with human-computer interface people, with machine learning people, and then even there within technical disciplines, sort of the different points of view about constructing something. But just let me know whenever you're. I wouldn't be able to search for a video and speak at the same time. So
Yes, yes.
however
I
you.
I just need to remember where I put it. This is embarrassing a bit, but
Well, would you, or we can even
I
come back
just
if you
can't.
want.
I just can't remember what was the name. I forgot totally the name of the video.
Wait,
So
you know, what we can do is why don't we just talk about this, the work with the technical people, and then we'll bring in Francisco, and then we'll all talk about just going across from the socio to the technical. But I know that you had a very diverse, interesting, highly expert team, but people with very specific domain expertise that they were very wedded to. What were those conversations like, and how did they play out?
actually, with the first team, it was harder a bit because me and Maha understood the situation of that things when it came to pedagogical context, it's different from the technology part. There is this gap. It was for the rest of the team, it was really to grasp this point, and the idea of to have a human-centered design was new to them. It took a lot of conversation between us to bridge and bend this gap. By the end, they got convinced and they understood what we have been saying, but there was such sort of debates. In the second team, those debates are less because the whole team worked in a human-centered project before. Maria is an expert already in human computer interaction, and Yasser and Hassan, though both are technical, they work technically and have this engineering background, and they work engineering, but they also worked before with the students and in teaching, and they have the pedagogical understanding of teaching. So the conversations were didn't have much debates as in the with the first team when it comes to the human-centered approach or the human perspective. Yes.
That's great. And so I think that that's a really great segue into Francisco's project, and then we can come back and talk about how communities play into this, how social scientists play into this, how the technical people, and how it all actually works together to create something that has value for the community, which is the base of both of these wonderful projects. But I'm going to now move over just for a presentation from Francisco Gallegos from Diversa Studio, which is an AI and data studio that's based in Quito in Ecuador, which is dedicated to developing human-centered AI solutions. And Francisco is the principal data and AI scientist at Diversa, which he co-founded, and he specializes in spatial data science, data visualization, and applied AI. So Francisco, I turn over the virtual floor to you now.
Oh, thank you, Katie. Hello, everyone, and thank you for the kind introduction. I'm grateful to the organizers for this opportunity to share our work in feminist AI prototypes and also natural resource governance that we work with the Yaqui community. This work was conducted jointly by Diversa and Tecnicas Rudas in Mexico, with the support of A+ Alliance. So let's start by discussing the context and the problem we are addressing. One of the central issues for humanity survivals is how we relate to all forms of life and the space they inhabit. The capitalist model often leads to environmental crises affecting marginalized populations, especially indigenous communities. In Latin America, native people have faced dispossession from colonial times to the present, bearing the cost of this unsustainable system. The Yaqui people are native group in the northwest of Mexico, number around 3,002 people in 8 communities. Since colonial times, they have struggled to maintain their autonomy and the way of life, recently facing dispossession of water resources. Now let's moving on to discussion the interdisciplinary approach we use in the methodology to face this problem. Our methodology was divided in 3 phases, involving a multidisciplinary team. In the first phase, we held an internal discussion to align our understanding of artificial intelligence and also design the fieldwork methodology. In the second phase, we define the AI models and also collect data through workshops and feminist popular education, art, community mapping, also songs. These workshops aim to generate collective memory and knowledge, strengthen intergenerational relationships, and support the self-determination of Yaqui people. Yeah. We engage the community in various activities, such as hand-drawing landscapes of BICAM, to compare the past and the present, and naming species in the memory of BICAM, game to highlight the ecological changes, writing letters about the Yaqui River to emphasize its importance, and also creating songs to narrate the territorial changes. Finally, in the third phase, we develop a preliminary AI model to process the collected qualitative information. So the goal was to provide the Yaqui community, especially for the youth, the tools to understand the water resources, their own perspectives, and also the knowledge. Okay. So continue with our interdisciplinary relationship. Let's delve into the geospatial analysis component. In this part of the project, we used satellite imagery of Sonora to detect water bodies using AI classification. We used open source technologies like Python and JavaScript to get the data and also to model and process the information. This allows us to create a replicable methodology for data collection and analysis all around the world, providing value insights into the context and the evolution of water resources in a study area. Now let's explore the results of our community work and engagement through various workshops. As you can see in the images, in the photos, we conduct participatory workshops involving different activities. As I said, drawing, songs, several surveys also was collected and processed to gain insights into community's perspective. Yeah. One of the most interesting results was the representation of memory of BICAM, particularly in the water and ecosystem. We use also an image-to-image model, stable diffusion that is open source, to use the hand-drawn images made by the children to help visualize the changes and importance of the ecosystem in a tangible way. Additional, we conducted a sentiment analysis of the songs and created during the workshops, which provided deeper insights into the emotional and cultural significance of the community experience. Something really important to emphasize is that the Yaqui community of BICAM must handle and understand the analysis, the data, the AI concepts and tools that we are building up and were used. to ensure they can manage their natural resources with their human capital. There must be an appropriation of knowledge so that this entire project is driven by the needs and the context of the community. Now, let's look at the integration of AI and geospatial data in our study. Here we can see the Yaqui River Basin located in the northwest region of Mexico. It comprises 3 distant sub-basins, Bicam, Álvaro Obregón, and Zaguaral. These regions present both challenges and opportunity of water governance. So our methodology combined traditional wisdom with modern technology. We use high-resolution images of Sentinel-2 satellite, and also applied AI land cover for the Sentinel imagery, so we can capture and analyze the dynamic of changes of landscape and especially the water bodies over the time. In the initial phase, we process the image with Google Earth Engine models and AI layers to classify land cover types spanning from 2015 to 2015. This classification helps us to identify various land cover, such as vegetation, build-up areas, and understand their change in an 8-year period, as you can see in the time series analysis. So we can now see where is the main variations, the causes also, and what's going on in this study area. Finally, as closing, we're talking about how we move from paper from paper to a prototype. The main goal of this second phase that we've started in this year is to build up a data dashboard, which you can see here. This interactive tool will serve multiple purposes. First, it will allow us to extend our methodology to new territories. Also, we want to add new data sources. For example, census data to know the social demographic indicators. Also rainfall patterns, temperature variations, groundwater levels. By continually incorporating these diverse data streams, we ensure that the dashboard remains a dynamic and up-to-date resource. Yeah. Finally, I think the dashboard will play a crucial role linking the results of the analysis with legal support in the struggle of water. These visualizations and analysis will help to generate compelling evidence in legal context supporting the efforts of the Yaqui community of Bicam to protect his water rights. Yeah, we are aware that this project does not automatically provide solutions or reverse the damage generated over years, over generations, but it is an effort to provide valuable information about water to the community. Yeah, so thank you for all and for your attention. It's been an honor to share our work incubating feminist AI prototypes and also exploring natural resource governance with Yaqui community in Mexico. We hope this project serves a foundation for future initiatives and collaboration and empowers indigenous communities to manage their resource in a sustainable way. Sorry. If you have any questions or you'd like to discuss further, I'll be happy to stay or chat. Thank you once again.
Yeah, thank you. Thank you, Francisco. I have a couple of questions before we open this up here about the community work with the Yaqui and how that played out, and the origins of it, and also what those consultations were like, and what happened at them.
Yeah, the workshops was a very, very important thing of our work. First, we need to get in touch with the community, know the challenges, know the perspective of the resources they have, so we can translate their necessities, their perspective in all the model approach. Yeah, so not only with workshops, also the work is very intensive with the leaders, the community leaders. Finally, they are the people who can make the decisions and actions. So the main focus is also to that the community can take this technology, this data, these new methodologies to face their challenges. So yeah, the community and the work and the technical work is linked and very important for us.
Yes, and of course, Tecnicas Rudas, who initiated this project, has a very long-standing and embedded relationship with this community. So it was, this is a relationship that sort of has grown and deepened over time, but it had already been planted and was bearing fruit before this project happened, which I think is part of the reason for its success. I do have a follow-up question because there are a lot of allied things between your work and the work happening in Upper Egypt. But here I'm super interested to see all this amazing qualitative data that you've gathered and how you're integrating that with the more traditional quantitative data for this dashboard.
Yeah, I think the non-traditional data, maybe within the songs, the drones, are not fully integrated in the dashboard, but it helps us to establish what kind of necessities of challenge we need to visualize in the analysis. Finally, a lot of things that we can see in the drawings of the children is that they don't have accessibility to water, so that's a main problem that we want to translate to the geospatial analysis. Yeah, that's the way we want to adapt the non-traditional data and knowledge with the analysis and the tool.
There's a question in the Q&A which is allied to this, so I'd like to ask it now. Was talking about the dashboard, which maybe you can go to that slide, asking about how the data is displayed, which we'll see in a second if you flip to that slide, and wanted to know how the data was measured, is a question from
Okay, thank you, Natalia. Yes, the dashboard is in development. It's not published yet. It will be publicly accessible. And when it is published, we will share to all the network so you can try it. And also, I'm not sure how the data was measured. Yeah, the data, finally, the water bodies was measured counting the pixels in the images. So we can approximate and estimate a water cover by measuring the pixels in the images, and then also track over the time those pixels. That's how we measure water in these satellite images. Yes. I don't know if I answered your question.
Yeah, I think it's good. We can sort of move also back to, let's open it up a little bit. If you take your slides off, and then we can put Marwa on screen and maybe ask her a question. Marwa, if everybody's having.
Yes, I'm there. Yes, yes,
Okay,
yes.
great. So Francisco, you need to take your slides off so we can see Marwa. And also maybe we can spotlight her. Hi, there you go. So while we're taking the slides off, just how your community work, because obviously you had a very, very robust community. You have teachers, you have students, you have also an ecosystem, which maybe we talk about a little bit later, about who's supplying the connectivity and also supplying the pads. But can you talk a little bit about your work with the teachers, who are your core community, right? That's your.
You mean through this project or in general? Because
Well, this project.
Okay, so in this project, what we aim for is to look how the teachers are imagining technology, their imagination when it comes to how technology can assist them. What are the expectations from technology? So that's mainly in this project the approach that we used. And we found that they wanted the more illustrations, they wanted visuals, they were looking for games, they were looking for videos that they can add their voices on those videos. And it was clear to me when I visited them. I'm familiar with that, but when I went there, I was trying to be open as much as possible to be able to see things from their perspective. And it was really clear that how the teachers are affecting the learning process. So I was referring to, with the metaphor, the orchestra and the conductors. So the teachers were like the conductors inside the classroom. Their voices, their signs, their body language was a part of the learning process for the kids. So we couldn't like just replace the teachers from the classroom and say that the students can go ahead and learn themselves. So we wanted to empower them to listen to their needs, what are their expectations, and work around that. So and from here we came up with what we should have in this system, like how we can have text, how you need to have the images, and we put a lot of weight on creating those illustrations and images to satisfy the teacher needs. We are currently working on finalizing the plugin related to the emojis part, and once we do, we are going back to the teachers, communicate this with them, and also take feedback from them regarding this, and to make sure that we really if what we built is really satisfying their needs. You are muted, Caitlin. Caitlin, you're muted.
So sorry. Yes. I suppose there's two parts to my next questions about how you both are going back, which is part of the prototyping process, which is so important to all of us, but how you're going back to the community and see how the community is using the utility of these prototypes for the community. So I almost hesitate to say the KPIs for it, but what are your objectives? How are you going to know that this is useful or not useful? I'll ask Marwa first and then Francisco.
As I just mentioned, we are going to go back to them to see how they are using it, to take feedback, post surveys and pre-surveys, and see with them how things are going. We will try to push to have this exercise, like to see them how they are using the system with the students directly inside the classroom, and the reaction of the students and the reaction of the teachers inside the classroom. When you go to any classroom, teachers can't or teachers and kids can't like not tell you the truth. You can have it clear in front of you. You will touch it directly. You will see it on the teachers' faces and reactions. If there is a hassle when it comes to the technology, she uncomfortable using it, those things they can't like hide. It's already there. If they are excited with the system, it will be clear. If they are the kids are interacting and excited, it will be clear. So those are like how they are interacting with the system. This is what we are going to evaluate.
And is there a component also of actually measuring the or maybe that's not part of this particular project, but measuring also how their mathematics
Yes.
acquisition has changed or not changed?
And yes, and this is what I meant by like pre and post tests, as we did in the first phase. Like we can give them a sort of an example, see how they are like answering it, how many of them answer it, and then after they watch, they interact with the system, how their understanding became different and so on.
Super. So, Francisco, how are the two teams of Tecnicas Rudas and also Diversa going back to the community and seeing the utility of the?
Yes, I believe the success of the project is in its usability. The main KPI could be how many times the dashboard, this tool, can be used as legal basis for the community to fight for the rights and natural resources. I think that's the main objective. The community empowers gain these insights, gain this tool to yes, to fight for the rights. I think that's the main KPI, the usability. The number of water struggles that this data can support. Yes.
Can you speak a little bit to the conversations with the community about how AI could be used, its utility, why you were doing the project, whether the project had value to them?
Yes, as part of the first phase, we run a speak of what is AI for the community and also especially for the youth and the children. We want to express that the AI can have a lot of potential in natural resource governance, and also how we can handle new data sources, and also open data that we can analyze and model to get insights in the water struggle and the fight for the rights. Yeah, so we want to link the community of BCAM with this technology, and how they can use it for a lot of things that are challenges in BCAM.
Can you also speak to the qualitative data? I mean, the songs, the stories, the things that you accumulated, are they more as artifacts in order to bring them into the system, or do they have an active place in the system with the quantitative data? How do you see that relationship, which is very, very original and really beautiful?
Thank you. I think it depends. Some of them are artifacts, some of them are the basis. I think the perspective, the territory is the main part to run the later analysis. But also the qualitative data of songs can let us know a lot of things that we are in Ecuador, so never being in BCAM. So with songs, with drawings, with the workshops, I think we can connect with people. We can understand how they appreciate the resource, the water. Also, the songs is an important part for this indigenous community. they make a lot of songs and also poems for the nature. So yes, I think sometimes it's an artifact, sometimes it's a very important part of our work, connect with the community and its knowledge and its perspectives also.
Yeah. Did we lose you, Marwa, or are you just being quiet? I know that there's a moment. Hi, Marwa. Okay, good. I know that there's also.
I'm just saving data on it. Yeah.
Yeah, exactly. So we have to say that there's challenges to electricity where Marwa is right now. It's all been turned off, so she has to hotspot and use, and we appreciate you using up very precious battery space and data to talk to us all. We're super, super grateful for that. Actually, as long as we're thinking about data and thinking about connectivity, are there issues? So in Upper Egypt, and we were really talking about rural environments, about how that connectivity works, and what measures were put in place to ensure that a high-tech solution would work in a low-tech environment, low-resource environment.
Well, we faced this dilemma before, but basically the students are working using their tablets, so it's maybe they can handle part of it like I can say that they can work with it offline. We studied the option of having the Moodle offline, but that means a lot of technicalities when it comes to install it in a server so they can run it and so on. And we don't think that the teachers or even the NGO operating the community schools would be able to carry such technicalities. So if there is a problem when it comes to dealing with the internet and electricity, sadly, so far, there is no alternatives for that.
But, I think maybe also to repeat the context, if it wasn't clear, there you were entering into an environment where an NGO had supplied the tablets. So these are not community
Yes, exactly.
schools that would have had the resources to have tablets.
Yes, they have electricity, they have tablets, they have this. But I am
And
saying
data.
when it comes to the crisis in Egypt, when it comes to electricity, everyone here doesn't have an alternative, including me, the internet. I mean, it's a national issue that you can easily find alternatives to it.
So actually, I have a question then. We're spending really interesting time, well spent, on coming up with these solutions. Knowing what you know, do you think that these are the best use of time and energy, your time and energy, to come up with solutions that might not be able to work at scale in rural environments?
I think it can scale up. It will need for sure sort of funding. We are currently like calculating, okay, what are the costs? Because it might end up that the costs compared to subscribing to any other system to teach the students, it's almost the same. So it's not a big deal by the end. And it might be a very good solution to enhance the mathematical understanding for those students or for others. I learned that anyone can come up with different business models for any product. Like some people can pay for it. It could be and charge them for something, and that could help others to learn. I mean, if someone can pay, they can pay for themselves, and this money can go for those who can pay. I mean, so there is almost if there is a need, there will almost be a way. There will always be a way for that.
Right. And I suppose the trade-off would be that the mathematical acquisition and the facility with math would be such that it would be worth, pursuing.
Yes, because mathematics, it's not easy to understand mathematics. And the community school are moving with a system, it's called TARL system, in which this system, it's a pedagogical system to teach mathematics all over across different countries and developing countries, in which they are trying to use real examples from the environment. this is what encouraged us also to use the emojis, because it gives you this real context about fruits and vegetables and things that are available from real-time environment.
Yeah, I know. So is there a question I'm curious that you would like to ask one another about? You have, there's so many intersections that you share in terms of what you're creating, although the projects couldn't be more different regions, different outputs, but some also commonalities, just to let you.
To me, Francisco's project is really clear. I see it's a very great project. I would like to hear from him, from his side, if he has comments on the project.
Yeah, thank you, Marwa. I think your project is awesome too. I think it has a really powerful cause. I think in Ecuador, we have the worst results in mathematical aptitudes in our youths, in our children. So when I saw this research, this project, I thinking it could work in Ecuador too. It could be a very useful tool, and we have a lot of struggles here. So I think it has a lot of potential. I think the tools that you are using are evolving every day. New models, new capabilities, and also I think we can join forces. We have a lot of experience in prompt engineering with LLMs and also with image generation. I think maybe the results could be better if in the context of an image generation prompt. It's also I don't know a Python function and mathematical explanation, so that the model can understand what kind of image we want. Yeah, so I think there is a lot of things that could improve. I'm sure that you will done. But yes, I like a lot. I think it has a great potential.
Yeah. And like all of the projects, which we've been, so lucky to benefit from the support of IDRC on as part of the deliverable. Of course, these are all open source. They're all done under a Creative Commons license. And so, and the idea is exactly that they be replicated. We've tried to, in the Feminist AI Research Network, to stay away from the notions of scale, because it isn't appropriate to sort of like take one thing and just sort of like put it all over the world, but to be able to replicate really deep, local, community-rooted solutions, and to be able to give that methodology and share what those steps and processes are, as well as the code, so that people can then take it and then deepen it even further, but in their own particular context. So that's part of our ethos and part of what we've been
too. And also, this is what we have been trying to do from the beginning. We have been trying not to focus to make it more scalable, or the ability to scale it is there despite the culture or the language. So we didn't want to invest time in, for example, customizing it to the Arabic language, for example. We wanted to use solutions that can be used from different places in the world and give the same reliable outcome. This is why maybe we found out that when it comes to emojis, it's going to be the same for everyone. It's not going to be related to different from a place to the other. And also when it comes to the language, using ChatGPT, it's good when you talk with with different languages. It's already there. You can use the Spanish language, you can use the English, you can use the Arabic. and the system interpret the emojis easily. When you just mention, I need this sort of emojis, it creates it. So
Yeah. I suppose we're going to have another conversation ongoing about what we think about Gen AI and whether it's bringing us where we need to go, as you've shown in your research, right? With the way that it insisted that 5 slices were really 3, which is a lesson in mathematics itself. But absolutely, this locally based, needs-based, community-based kinds of projects are just, I think, near and dear to all of our hearts, because this is the kind of technology that we need. We need to make technology that actually communities need, that they want, that come from a real sort of need. So we thank you so much. I think this is just the perfect amount of time. It is such an honor and such a pleasure to be speaking from Egypt to Ecuador today, to these 2 such different, such original, deep and beautiful projects that couldn't be more different, from 2 sides of the world, but really have so much in common, and so much of their objective and heart going in the same direction. So thank you so much. It's a pleasure for all of us to work with you, and we look forward to the prototypes will be available and open soon, and you can see them and link to them on our website. So thank you.
thank you,
Thank you very
Caitlin, for your
much.
support, and thank you, Francisco, for this beautiful presentation. It was nice to meet you. So, and hope to see you soon.
Thank you. Bye.
Thank you.